Before I started dancing, I had hitchhiked 25,000 miles in my spiritual pursuits, and I became a priest. Um, and then I discovered contact improvisation, and I was home. I knew that this is where my life was destined. And at the time, I was the director, way too early in my life. I was 22 years old. I was the director of the Empty Gate Zen Center in Berkeley, California. And I'll never forget, I went in, and there was Zen Master Seung Sahn with his stick, and I bowed in and sat down and told him that I had discovered this dance form and that I was going to be moving out of the Zen Center. And he used to be a military sergeant. He stuck his finger in my chest and he said, "No." He said, "You must do the great work of life and death when you're young." And I said, I know which way I'm going, and all the classes conflict with the practices here, and I don't want to get in the way of the practice of other people, and I'm going to be moving out. And he said, "If you move out, you die." And so he created this kind of hero's journey line that I can stay here and live forever or cross this line and die. And I'd been meditating a while, and there was some clarity in me, and I kind of went, well, I can stay here and die, or I can cross that line and dance and die. And I bowed out of the room and left. A couple days later, called up my parents, said, "Mom, Dad, guess what? I'm going to be a dancer." And there was this long silence on the phone. And then they both at once, they went, "Martin, no!" So these people who had like these major influences in my life did not have a great response to me telling them that I wanted to dance my life. My parents said, they went, but there's no money in it. Now, my parents were artists. They were professional puppeteers, as were my grandparents and my sister and brother. And it had never been about the money. They'd been very successful, but it had always been about the collaboration and the project and the creativity. So I knew that wasn't the truth. And after a while, they said, "Martin, you're too old." They had both been professional ballet dancers, and back then they had both been forced to retire at age 22 because you were considered at your peak at 22, and it was only downhill from there. So when they came and actually saw contact improvisation, they actually jumped on the floor and started rolling around together, but they got it. They got that I had found a form that was really good for me. So I returned my robes and bowls. I actually did get my parents' blessing for the dancing, and it's been 35 years now. So that's all for today. Be in touch. Much love. Bye-bye.